Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome University of Louisville scout recruit Jamarquavion James. What's up, bro?
What's up?
How's it going, man?
Good.
Can you tell the audience who you are and what you do?
My name is Jamarquavion James. I'm a University of Louisville defensive scout recruiter for the University of Louisville. I really do D linemen and like defensive backs. That's who my heaviest recruits are. That's because they're the most people we need help with, and they're like one of the hardest people like to get on the team, and they're the hardest people like to make sign because they're like limited and on the limited picks. So like them are the like tough ones to get to sign.
Okay. So what led you go to Louisville?
What made me go to Louisville? It's because I did this program from like the back of my head because I like grew up going to the University of Louisville. I had a lot of family go here and stuff like that. So like I already knew the people here and stuff like that. So it just made it kind of more easier for me to go here because like I knew a lot of people are here already. So instead of starting somewhere like fresh and stuff like that, go somewhere I already knew.
Okay. So what is it like down Louisville?
Uh, what it's like? It's pretty big. The university is. Student population is. The football team is pretty big. We have 151 players. I'm not 151, but 115 players at the daily monitor. Uh, I mean, it's just really nice. I mean, you have my program is ranked number 2 in the nation. We got Florida number 1, and we got us number 2, sports administration number 2 in the nation that ranked the education program for my degree. So it was great for me to go here because the program I'm in like is national ranked and like well known to the United States.
Yeah, it's a big time known college out there. But what got you to do what did you do anything with football in general before you did scouts?
I did some football. Yeah, I did several things in football before I got to the University of Louisville. I used to play football back in high school, and I said I didn't get the offer or nothing like that because I had a health issue come up. So my biggest thing was obviously I wasn't gonna quit doing the game I love, so I was gonna like do a job with it and work for recruiting, and then after I graduated, I was gonna work for NFL scouting.
So that's like your next goal. So since you stopped doing football, it just got you interested in scouting, right?
Uh-huh. Yes, sir. Scouting athletes. That's what I do for recruiting right now. Go to the list daily by day. Well, I'm on 2023's class right now. I'm supposed to finish that up in December. And I'm just going through the list. I mean, I got a couple more players. I'm waiting here and waiting to sign. Like this week coming up in the University of Louisville, it's a big week coming up this week because I have a lot of top talent recruits coming in Wednesday night, and then we have camp Thursday and Friday, Saturday. So it's gonna be a pretty big camp because I have like people back at home that's coming here like from Louisiana. I have people from St. August is coming. I have a top offensive lineman that's coming. It's between Georgia, Alabama, us, and another big Power Five school. He's one of the top ones. Then I have a defensive back at home that's number 1 in the state of Louisiana. That's coming here. I'm waiting to hear back from is going to sign here or not. And then I have a running back that's from Texas that I'm waiting to hear back from. That's a 5-star. So it's gonna be pretty big this week. See what goes on and who signs.
Oh, so you do pretty good on the recruiting scout, huh? So you do a lot of your due diligence when you look to get those athletes.
Yeah. I like deep into them. I like that background and character. I ask their coaches what their character is. That's the number 1 thing when I do. Characteristics for what the player is. Like I ask the coach what their background is, like what's their relationship with you and stuff like that before going any farther in. Because a lot of NFL scouts I talked to and said that's the number one key is like asking what the player's characteristics is, like what does the coach think about them and stuff like that before a professional team picks them up and works with them. Because most professional teams, they have the coaches, the head coaches having trouble with them in college and stuff. They're 9 out of 10. They're not gonna deal with that mess during NFL. So
You always got to look for the players that kind of fit your program and don't get into a lot of the issues. But, it's always the unexpected with these young players because, they may be the top recruit talent, but sometimes they always tend to have that red flag out of nowhere.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So for your dream, you want to become an NFL scout. So what would your requirement would take now since you're scouting at Louisville?
Oh, what the requirement would take for me to do that is first I have to do an internship with the NFL and personnel director. Second, I will have to apply for a team, and then third is like finding what team will actually fit me and making like actual good connections with them. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, you got to find somewhere where it fits you, or they got to give you an opportunity first because, you come into the door and that's all it is. As long as you get yourself kicking the door, you should be able to get opportunities. But working in college is a pretty good, impressive where you're at right now. I mean, you're going to a solid program. You're doing how long have you done scouting?
I've been doing it for like almost 4 years now. This will be my 4th year coming up. This will be my senior year. I've been doing it for 4 years.
So what's the difference between coaching to scouting? What's the difference?
Yeah, coaching, you're getting into a whole different ball game. Coaching is I do defensive lineman coaching, and it is a ball game because I have to. First of all, I have to basically pick who's going to be starting or not like that, and I got to go with the top people that makes the most plays. I mean, they make the most like reps during practice and stuff. Like I have to play them people, the ones that do the most and stuff like that. I have to play them because none of them ones who execute during the game and win my games. So I start from the highest and I go down to the lowest of who's gets the most playing time. That's how most of the coaches working. Like if you're like most freshmen that come in, like you not to the team, you don't see a freshman start like coming into college unless they're like a beast and a badass. So yeah, like it's like pretty difficult for a freshman to come in and start his first year of college. Because we mostly want to go by like the grade levels and stuff like that. People that's been there longer want to get them in. So like, say I'm a freshman, I want to get my like juniors and seniors get them playing time so they can get looked at. So like when it's time for the NFL draft, that year, their junior year or senior year, they're ready. And then like do the next 2 years of freshman and sophomore, the ones that's been waiting on the list at the bottom, get them ready, and then like the next class that comes in, do the same thing. So it's just like a pattern rotating in.
Yeah, it takes time for some freshmen because it's like a red shirt for some of them, but then some of them eventually get some playing time down the road, or some of them become rare starters as freshmen. But depends on the talent too. So it's like usually for a freshman, it's always good to be red shirt if you need to be. You don't have to start right away if you don't need to.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest issue. Like when most of them come in, like they think they're supposed to have a starting position, but I'm like, you gotta work for that. Because some guys that's been here for like 3 years already. That's want that position, and they're messing up and stuff like that. The freshmen actually doing better than them. I'll play the freshmen. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah, if he gets more experience, the better. It's just you have to go with the guy, and if he gets better, it's just more experience down the road for him. So like when you scout college, when you look at the players, what's one of the best qualities that you look for when you scout talent that makes it stands out?
The best scout is like the skills in the position. Like either set zone. So basically, like a defensive lineman, if they're in their position right and they're lining up with the ball correctly and they're making like plays in the backfield, like getting to the backfield, not getting blocked by the offensive lineman, getting driven back. Yeah, those are the ones I like to play. So I got like on the defensive line. I want to say I probably got two that's probably ready for the NFL. I know one's definitely going. This is his last year. He'll probably be a second round high pick.
So you got a guy in Louisville that's kind of like kind of a guy that can move up second round draft boards.
Oh yeah. He's one of the top ones. Like he's this cat's built like one. Height, weight, gets to the backfield, comes off the edge, does not. I mean, he just goes to the backfield making plays. Like I got told him, I said, you gotta give it to him. That dude he's pretty big. Getting in the backfield like that.
So I might need to check him out when it comes down to the draft scouts, man. I gotta definitely schedule this dude for an interview down the road if he's that good, like you're saying.
His name is Yaya. So Yaya, that's one of my favorite ones on the defensive lineman is Yaya. And
sounds like a cool name, Yaya.
Yeah. He's from out of Georgia. He came out of Georgia State and stuff like that. And he had transferred in from us like 3.5 years ago. They're like during COVID season, he had transferred in and stuff like that. Because we was watching this film and stuff like that. I mean, he turned out to be a great player. So, yeah, he's one of the big ones that's coming off the defense this year. Him and my dog, the plays dog, what is his name? Yasir from Miami, Florida. He's another one that is going to be gone off the defense this year. He's going to be NFL too. Him, Yasir, and I believe that's it off my defense. Like linebackers and like defense and like D linemen. I think that's it for my defense. Rest of our offense.
So did you ever had to recruit like guys from junior college too? Like some of them that were like in those 2 year span?
Yeah. I did that too. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. The process is difficult of getting them here. I need transcripts. It's very complicated getting all that. Because I lost a good player. I lost a defensive back this year in the transfer portal because the stuff didn't go through right. And we had to recomplicate and go find somebody else. This defensive back we had coming in, trying to get, had offers from Alabama, Ole Miss, almost all the SEC schools, and it just didn't work out of getting everything here on time. And he actually went somewhere else because it was kind of difficult and stuff like that, coming off of junior college and stuff like that. We waited on the University of Louisville to approve everything, but they weren't like moving fast enough, and the transfer portal was closing up, so they had to make a final decision because when it got to hurry up and close up. So once it closes up, then it will open back up until the NCAA says so, which I believe that should be July or something. End of July it should open back up.
So when you like the difference in college and nowadays, man, you get a lot of these players going from transfer from other programs. Like, man, this is like the NFL for you. They just go to another program. So it's like, bam, they're changing the game a little bit. Like now they're kind of like discussing about paying players too. Like, damn.
Yeah. So that's another issue we're gonna run into. So if a player is getting paid like almost $1 million, almost more what the head coach is getting paid, that's gonna be a problem for most head coaches. I know Clemson's coach said that too. He was talking about saying if a player gets paid more than him, he's gonna quit. I'm like, man, it is what it is. I mean, the generation changes. It's not the same like when you grew up.
Yeah, especially with all these top talents and all that stuff. Like sometimes they're going to expect a little more. Now there's certain states that's definitely going to allow players getting paid to go to a program, and even if they're a 5-star recruit or whatever recruit you look at, and it's like Like I remember before, there was an issue where Deion Sanders and I guess Nick Saban was complaining about how these players are I guess some of them coming from Jackson State, and it's like he thinks it's crazy. And then there's like talks about maybe USC will start getting into that process too because it's somewhere where most players want to go at, somewhere relaxed. But like you said, Louisville's a solid program. As long as you guys build your homegrown talent the right way, like you guys been doing it.
Yeah.
It's all good, crazy juice. Hey, what's up, David? Oh, here's your boy. This is the guy that got me. Oh, I got to give him a shout out for getting in contact with you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was telling me about what you were doing. So then you were telling me more about your background. You were doing football, and then you were doing a lot of your scouts. And have you started like mastering a little bit more of your homework more ever since you've done it? Because I know when you first start doing these type of scout stuff, you'll have your struggles in the beginning, and then sooner or later you'll start to progress with more experience, and that's just how some people do it.
Yeah, because some coaches like wants like this specific player and stuff like that. And like I was looking at like 5 stars out of when I first started. I was looking at 5 stars out of Louisiana and stuff like that because it's like where that's a power football state. That's where a lot of people get their players at. And he was telling me I was looking at area really because it's gonna be like kind of hard to get them to come here. But I was like, hey, I'm from there. I can get some of those players to come here. I got one to come here in 2020. I got one. He was a defensive back. He was one of the top ones in 2020. And he entered the transfer portal last year. It was multiple issues with the coaching staff and stuff like that, which I hate when he left. Because he told me after that one game we lost against Kentucky that he'll be into the transfer portal. I was like, I was trying to make him stay, but he was not going to listen because of the issues he had with the defensive coordinator and some of the other coaches on the defensive staff, which I got it. Which he's in a better place now, and he likes where he's at now, and that's all that really matters for him. So,
yeah, you know, it's always about opportunities for some players, but like, why leave a program if you're comfortable where you're at too? So it's like. Depends on the transfer too, but like you said, you got your connections with players from Louisiana. So I think with your ties to Louisiana, those players would say, "Hey, you know what? I want to go play over there because of so and so." But then again, it's a good program too. It's intriguing. You know, you want to have that same connection, how you want to relate to these players, and you're not even far off on their age difference, so they probably would be more relatable to you. So usually when you want to get football players to come into your program, you have to be more convincing and sell it to them of why they should be here. And the more you kind of come to that background, man, a lot of these players, it's not as hard to like convince them. It's more like you have to be in the same shoes as them.
yeah. So basically, you got to almost have the same background as them and stuff like that. Which, from being from Louisiana and stuff like that, it is very difficult for getting them to come here because most of them wants to go to LSU, and then most of them go to Alabama or Georgia or Florida State. Them are the only 4 schools they're like really a pick from. Like they were shocked and surprised that he committed here when I got him to commit here. I was like, it wasn't that hard to get him to come here. I mean, you just got to go down and talk to him. So like, I used to just go back home and fly and go talk to him and stuff like that.
Oh, so so like as a recruiting scout, do you even have to go all the way over there just to go meet up with the players and talk to them, or is it just?
I'm not supposed to do that. It's not my job to do that because I can get in trouble by that.
Yeah, violation stuff right there. But I guess it is what it is.
But most of the people back at home, I can like do it, especially in Louisiana. I can hit that state up, but that's the only state I go back home and like do that for to get them to come here. The coaches does the rest. Like that's supposed to their job. I'm not a full-time coach, so what I do is get my Louisiana people, talk to them and stuff like that. That's all I can do is talk to them.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be actual like football related. It's more like you get to know them as a human being, and then maybe they might be convinced, and then they might say, "Oh, which program is it?" And then you can say, "Oh, Louisville." Oh, I heard good things about it. Okay, maybe I'll consider it. But ever since you've gone to Louisville, have you like really adapt to the culture compared to Louisiana?
I mean, yeah, I adapted to the culture very good. I mean, it's just Well, I can say it's more hotter in Louisiana when we play football, and it's like not that extremely hot down here. But I mean, I adapted to it and stuff like that. Like their football programs are like a lot different than down there, like how they do it hands on because they're like more physical down there and stuff like that. Because most of the people been playing the game their whole life down there, so it's kind of difficult. And we have South Florida kids. It's from South Florida, Georgia, Atlanta. Like all them kids from down south. It takes time for them to adapt to this program. They're not just going to adapt to it in 1 year. It's going to take time for them because they're coming somewhere where it's hotter 24/7 out the year, and they're not used to the winter weather.
Yeah, temperature difference, and so Louisville gets pretty hot down there.
It gets pretty hot there. Like this week, it's supposed to be 100 degrees all this week, but I really doubt it's going to be 100 degrees all this week. The highs it might hit up to 100 like 2 times out the week, but most of them probably like 97 or 98. It won't hit 100 degrees every day.
Oh man, this is I guess like, but is it like humidity hot or is it just like
it's humidity hot?
Oh, man, so I guess it's pretty damn hot over there. But I guess in Kentucky, like you said, it's more hot, but it's more different culture. But just by experience, when you go down Louisville, is it just like a pretty nice, friendly city, or do you get a little mix of everything else out there?
It can be friendly, and the people can be ugly, but you just gotta know how to like talk to people down here, like to make connections and stuff like that.
Oh, so the connections with them would pretty much keep them away. But I don't know. I hear a little different mixed reviews in Kentucky. Like it can be a little racist, but then it can be a little more mellow depending on what side you're in.
Yeah, it depends on what county you're in too. Like E-Town, that's probably what county people are talking about. Yeah, that's kind of one of the racist ones and stuff like that.
But I mean, as long as you adapt with the culture, then they're not going to mess with you like that. I mean, for players to come to Louisville, it's got to be a good scholarship. It's got to be a good opportunity to build yourself. And plus, if you come from Louisville, you come from a solid program. It's a known name program, so it's a big name too. So anytime a college prospect were to declare in the draft, they would be considered like a prospect from Louisville because everybody talks about Louisville in a different perspective. Like they can either talk about a basketball program or a football program. And you get a little bit of like talent wise, like a lot of players who come from Louisville, you get a lot of these skill set players. Like you said, some of the defensive linemen are pretty solid.
Yeah, they're pretty rough. Like the defensive linemen, that's another thing I look for, like body fatness and like weight they have on them. Like I can't offer I'm not gonna offer a defensive lineman that's like 350, almost 400 pounds. I mean, it's gonna be very difficult for them to move in that backfield very fast. Like, it's really gonna be difficult. So I usually look for like 300 pounds to 320, something like around there. Quickness. So if you do like 350 or 400 pounds, it's probably gonna progress moving slow and stuff like that.
Well, they got to be in better weight. They got to be in a diet or something at least. But for some of these players, man, it's like you have to look at how quick they are too, and there's a lot of these 300-pound players. They can either be an every down type of D-line or just be a 2-down player, but you have to make sure to put them in the rotation if they can do so much.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. I rotate my players. I don't leave them in the whole. There's no way they can play that whole quarter. No. Especially not D-lineman.
Rotation is very viable, especially when you have especially a guy coming to play defensive lineman like myself before. It's always viable to have somebody to rotate in when you're pretty wear out.
Yeah, every 3 or 4 plays they rotated. There's no way they can be in that whole quarter. No.
So I remember a time when we were shorthanded, man. I had to play a lot of snaps out there, and I was wear down, man.
Yeah. I mean, it can get pretty difficult and stuff like that, but that's not 10. It is what it is, but still, we worked everything out. We just got a defensive lineman from LA, Jemiah. He's doing pretty good. He was one of the top defensive linemen in the transfer portal.
Oh, so is that a guy from Louisiana?
No, L.A. They got him
Oh,
out.
Los Angeles. Okay, Los Angeles.
L.A. He came out of L.A. He played for Arizona State last year.
So you got somebody who came from Arizona State.
Yeah. Now that's another one for defense. That's the one I was trying to tell you about. Now him, yeah, he's going to the NFL too. Yeah, that one most definitely because he was one of one of the power top defensive linemen in the transfer portal.
So if this guy declares the draft next year, man, this can be a must interview, guys. So I definitely got to get in contact with you again, like I am. But dude, like I like watching D lines because they finish out plays in the trenches. But just for playing both sides of the ball before, where I played O line and D line. Usually D line are always the ones that clog the run good, but then there's some that can get to that quarterback effectively, like quick off the get off or something, like the way they do it. But most defensive linemen can do better with their hands on the dirt, or they prefer to stand up, which is kind of like depends on the scheme too.
Yeah, but yeah, he's most definitely one. Like he just got here this week. Actually, when I watched him in practice Wednesday, I was like, the kid's pretty solid. I mean, he moves very quickly for his size and stuff like that. Muscle built, everything. I said the kid is excellent D lineman we need. We was looking for the transfer portal and stuff like that because we didn't have no backup like solid defensive lineman really. So for him to transfer in, I mean, yeah, it really helped us, especially on the D line. Because a lot of them got blown off the line last year, and we didn't want that same problem this year because like you going against Clemson, UCF. And you're going against Florida State this year. It's had a pretty solid team. It's number 10 in the nation. You got to go against Kentucky that we got blown out by last year. Yeah, that kind of helped us.
Yeah, you guys don't want to have that same issue like you're saying. That's probably one thing you need to improve on. And then you felt like this guy can make a difference. So I'm definitely gonna have to do some more work on this kid then. Since you're giving me some good scouting report, man, I might need to check this guy out then. I mean,
he's good. It's him. It's the Jeremiah, Yaya, and Yasir. They're the main three ones off the defensive side. They're really, really heavy on this year, and they're really they're the potential going to the NFL draft. Them are the main three. They're like the coaching staff, like that's probably gonna be gone this year. More likely, 100% gonna be gone.
Also, a change of coaching staff. So do you feel like how long do you think you're gonna be sticking around Louisville until you get a chance at your NFL dream, man? Or are you just gonna stick with the program or go whatever you got to go to?
I want to do if NFL scout didn't work out. Then I was going to do like a grad assistant, probably like in the SEC. I had a couple of SEC schools reach out to me and stuff like that. And I actually got interested in being a scout. Like I had one Friday reach out to me. And they're supposed to get back with me this week. One of the coaches are. So I'm looking at my backup plan too. If NFL scouting doesn't work out my first year out of college and stuff, because I'm a senior this year. So I mean, it is what it is. But most people don't get that job when they're fresh out of college because you got to have like multiple experience. They want people to have like a master's degree. And you very rarely find somebody with a bachelor's degree that becomes an NFL scout right out of college. It's kind of hard.
It's pretty rare. Like you said it. You said it like, but with your credential, you've done it for 4 years and you're building your experience. So what really matters is you're still going for that dream. Sometimes there's a purpose and it happens for a reason. So like you said, maybe your football days was just numbered, but you still had a purpose for something else, which was scouting and coaching. So it gives you an opportunity to go somewhere bigger,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, I feel like you got a bright future and just keep doing what you're doing. And time will tell, man. But I'd like to give a shout out to everybody in the comment section for coming by. And most of all, for Jonah Pickney for making this happen. Because if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have happened. But I feel like you got a bright future, man. So you just got to keep pushing and keep grinding. And you said you've done your homework on a lot of these recruit scouts. So you definitely have a better understanding of these players. So you you watch practices or you watch players from time to time, and you get a good understanding of who fits the culture or not.
Yeah, man, a lot of them got grip around same background as them because we're like a lot of them from the South. So I understand their background and stuff like that. So it's more easier to understand their relationship than like most people that's from Louisville that plays on the team. Like it's kind of hard for them players to understand those people background because they're coming from like the south, way down south. It's like kind of hard for them to understand it until they actually get to know them personally.
Yeah, there's a difference, but for sure, man. Appreciate you going on the show, man. We're definitely gonna catch up sometime soon, man. Hopefully everything goes well for your journey, man, because I know you want to do NFL scout, and as long as you do what you're doing, you're gonna head on the right direction. But I'm going to give you the solo of your intro to say what you got to say, and I'll still be right here. So like, you can just say what you want to say. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right here, man. You can say what you want.
Oh yeah. I'm good. I didn't have nothing else. So I one question I have for you. So are you like an NFL scout, or are you like a recruiter for like the sports, or what are you?
No, I'm just a regular like content creator. Just more sports stuff. I do a little bit of checking every now and then. But I've interviewed some NFL draft prospects. I've done my due diligence on most of them. And my biggest interview was a guy that just got drafted by the Niners in the 4th round. And he had everything that I was looking at, and he had versatility. And as much as I want to like do a bunch of other stuff, there's other content creators who have credential to go into the other stuff and all that stuff, which I don't have yet. But I just enjoy sports in general. That's what I do.
Yes, sir.
But that's an honest answer I can give you, man. But you're in the right path, so you're doing something, man. You're a scout. That's taking it to the next level, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Appreciate it, and we'll look forward to it, man. But you gotta come into Jonah's show at some point, man.
Okay, I will.
All right, man. Have a good one, bro. As always, CG Ruthless Sports and Jamarquavion James is out, and see y'all later.
All right.